dark of the night, whispers of deceit.
Shadows dance on the walls.
Secrets they repeat. A shadowed figure
with eyes full of lies.
hiding truths in the shadows where no one dares to pry. Uncover the truth, let the lies come undone. Peel back the layers until the light is shown. Uncover the truth, let the shadows run. Break free from the chains and find the sun. Uncover the truth in the dead of the night, where secrets lie hidden like a whispered bite. Uncover the truth in the dim of the light, where betrayals take root in the heart of the fight. In the rain-soaked streets, under the moon's pale light, a crime unfolds with a twisted...
All right. We are here for Bloodlines and Betrayal. I'm your host, the best podcast host in the universe, Steve Cully. And with me, as always...
Hey, you're frozen.
And with me,
Oh, no,
as
now
always...
you're not. Oh my God, I see smoke actually coming up in front of you. It looks like you're in some sort of like...
I'm a detective.
Yeah, like a detective. Like,
Yeah,
take it first and choke him! Choke him out! Steve!
That's the point. Yeah.
Choke him out!
I get it. Did you do it?
Did you do the crime?
Confess.
You son of a bitch!
Yeah. That's the look I'm going for. Yeah.
You gotta smoke it. You gotta smoke it. You gotta go. Apparently.
We got a lot to discuss. So Coach Schumann, he's ready to go. And
you know what is a bloodline and betrayal? Should be a fucking episode. Fucking Little League charges $400 goddamn dollars to play Little League.
Per kid?
Per kid, dude.
Oh my God.
Are you shitting me?
What is this, the majors? Like,
it's not even travel ball. It's fucking local Little League.
That's the most ridiculous. It's supposed to be like free. Like, kids aren't going to be able to afford to play Little League.
$400 to play Little League? What is that bullshit?
We're gonna have to talk about that.
That's a bloodlines and a betrayal in itself.
That is.
I want to know where that money's fucking going.
That is completely absurd. And
are we traveling? Are we entering a tournament? No, we're going to fields that they already have.
Yeah, and your Little League is for everyone. Now you're limiting that terribly. I don't think we pay I don't think we had to pay at all to play Little
My
League.
7-on-7 club is $2.99. I'm an idiot, obviously. Obviously, I'm an idiot, but I'm putting on my UConn hat for this.
Okay. Well, there was a article written, and it was in the Connecticut Examiner. Several other publications picked it up. It was on some blogs, and it is an opinion article by a columnist, Mr. Chris Powell, who mainly writes about political things. You know, he's a political columnist. He has his own website, and he went after UConn.
You're frozen again for some reason.
Because I'm looking at the article. God damn it!
No, you're literally frozen.
Yeah, because I was looking at the article. I'll look at it.
Oh, when you flip through, your thing freezes you.
I think so. Yeah, because I had Windows open. So I'll close it. And
no. You can do it now. I didn't know what it was.
I have it. I have it on my phone. I have it on my phone.
Can I read you what I read? Like what?
Yeah,
what's
please.
the arguments on this thing.
Yes, please.
So I went into like stay with me.
Am you getting my smoke?
Yeah, it's somehow
You're
hitting me.
you're inhaling my smoke.
Somehow it's killing me. Yeah.
You're getting my secondhand smoke in New Jersey.
Yes. All right. So it says the taxpayer right to know argument, fiscal responsibility angle appeals to the politically conservative, fiscally responsible side of the audience. Argument is UConn is public state-funded institution. Facilities, the facilities these athletes use to build their fame are paid by Connecticut tax dollars. Therefore, the public owns the program. Comparison in almost every state, the salaries of public employees, including head football coach and AD, are public records. If the quarterback is making more than the governor, shouldn't the taxpayers know that? Talking point: if we demand transparency for where tax dollars go, why is NIL money, which is fueled by the university brand, kept in the dark? Is it fair that coach's salary is on Google, but the star player's income is a state secret? The next thing is government overreach argument. So is individual liberty. The argument, this is more libertarian, privacy focused side, because I'm just reading what it says, and then it has the sports business angle. Just because someone plays sports doesn't mean they forfeit their right to privacy. These are private contracts between student and a business, like a car dealership or a local restaurant. The government has no business exposing a private citizen's income. The FERPA angle, Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Usually student records are sealed tight. Does this law violate the spirit of protecting students? Why does the state need to know what a 19-year-old makes?
Yeah.
This feels like big government stepping in to regulate something that the free market can handle. The local pizza shop wants to pay a linebacker our $10K. That's between them, not the state legislature. All right. The last one is the unfair regulation, free market angle. Connecticut is placing regulatory burdens on its own businesses, UConn Athletics, that competitors, private schools like Boston College or public schools in states with different laws don't have. If top talent avoids Connecticut because they don't want their finances published in a newspaper, the product, UConn football, basketball, gets worse. That hurts ticket sales, which hurts the local economy.
Correct.
Is Connecticut shooting itself in the foot with red tape? We are competing against schools in the SEC, Big 12, who operate in the shadows. By trying to be morally superior with transparency, are we actually just destroying our ability to compete in the market? Those are pretty good 3 different arguments. I'll put it back.
I don't think they are at all. So, first of all, I checked some state schools. They don't report what the revenue sharing agreements are with their players.
Okay.
And the reason why, players are not school employees. So, defined by the state, they're not employees of the school. You can find out what professors make. You can find out what my friend Chris DeCitis makes.
Right.
It's all reported in Connecticut. But athletes are 1099s. They're independent contractors. So, okay, I want to know what all the plumbers make in Connecticut. Let's get a report on that. So I had several issues with this. Number one, this was an opinion piece and clearly clickbait bullshit because of
is it
the
actually
way
something that's being proposed at all at the government level?
No, because not at all.
Okay.
I don't like the title of the article because it's entitled "Secret Payments Are Corrupt Even When UConn Teams Win." So you're saying that the payments are secret, which they're not, and there's corruption, which there's not. So you're firing up citizens of the state of Connecticut with just that title. And he has no factual information. Okay. He is upset because you can't FOIA. UConn has a FOIA exception for revenue sharing. Okay. And he's trying to say that because the athletes get paid, they're professionals. Well, in the eyes of the NCAA, they are not. They're college kids. They're 1099s that get paid. And the NCAA was the one who made it legal several years ago. And then they agreed that colleges could pay them directly, and then they could get NIL deals on top of that. So I have a huge problem with this. And at UConn's request, the legislator and governor enacted an exemption to Connecticut's Freedom of Information law for payments made by the university to varsity student athletes as part of the sports revenue sharing and for use of their NIL, okay, and advertising. The university says it will, and this is what they do. They disclose the total of the payments and the number of student athletes receiving them, but not the individual payments. Okay. So let's say that they did. I find out Solo Ball, he's getting paid $1 million. Terrace Reed, he's getting $3 million. Cam Edwards, he got $100,000. You are putting a target on a child, a kid, their back, first of all. Because now everyone in the state, everyone at the school is going to know how much money they are making. So you think that that's not going to cause a problem? You think that gangs, criminals are not going to target them, want to assault them, want to rob them? They know the schedule. We've seen in the NFL several times there have been criminal organizations that target athletes' homes when they play on the road. What's wrong?
No, I'm not paying that fucking Little League fee right now. I'm just not doing it. Go ahead. I'm listening. Fucking not doing it. I'm not doing it, dude. What the fuck?
And
for fucking rec? Rec sports?
That's unheard of. That is discriminatory. It's one of the worst things I've heard that they would do that.
I can understand travel.
Yeah, you don't pay for public Little League. Nobody pays for that. It's paid for from your taxes. Your taxes pay for it.
My kid could just play for his Catholic school team.
100%.
Like he's going to anyway.
Did they make you pay it all last year?
Yeah, I'm sure we paid that amount, and I probably bitched about it last year, and I fucking did it probably. But now,
wow,
I don't want. Anyway, so I want to jump in on this because
please do.
Because I'm angry already to begin with.
I'm angry too.
All right, so here's where a lot of this has come from. We talked about it last night a little bit. When you have all this, things are getting lumped together. Okay. People are getting tired of people using government funds and misappropriating it. Obviously, you get stuff like going on in Minnesota. You get stuff that's going on, I don't know, around the country, right?
They want transparency, right?
They want transparency. So this is what's going on, and now this has trickled into this part of the world because people think that some people think that
there could be,
state funds or student fees and then paying players with it and blah, 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 blah. right? So to me, this is the way I look at it. As long as those line items check out and that's not what's happening, then there's no need to disclose what players are getting paid. Okay. Otherwise, there's no reason to do that. If for some reason there is some sort of like smoke where there's fire where there's smoke, meaning you're looking at like line items along the line and they're saying
Exactly.
crazy thing like, hey, we raise student, I'm using this as an example, but part of it comes from Rutgers, who has a 78 million deficit. Okay, people in New Jersey are like, wait a minute, we're raising student fees. Is that money going to the player? Like, that's kind of part of the question there. I'm not saying any of that is even happening because I don't think it is, but I'm just saying that's what the question is because they have a shortfall, right? So now there are other groups that have shortfalls. I have no idea whether UConn does or doesn't. I don't know any of that, but you probably have that like transversing around the country in some of these places. And that's trickling down to in this kind of thing, which is natural when you start to pay players excessive amounts of money. Okay. Now
They voted on it.
That's the world that it's in. Do I think players should get excessive amounts of money? And that's debatable. But if they're not employees, then you also do not have an argument to.
You don't have a leg to stand on.
Right from that standpoint. So it's a complicated issue in the sense that this whole thing, as you're paying players and as you're giving money to players, and it's coming from pay to play and not pure NIL as it was originally intended, you're going to have more of these questions asked. I think it's ridiculous to put players in that situation. Players are not the problem in this situation.
We made it. I mean,
we made
the NCAA made it this way.
The system up. Once we opened the system up, now you have players being played. Okay, so I think the whole system as a whole has an issue. I think players should get money. Should it be done in the pure NIL form? Sure, that's long gone. It's pay to play. Now you've got other issues that are going to come about because of this whole situation. The only way to solve this and make people happy is to go to make some people happy is to make players employees, and then they would have endorsement deals, and you're going to have a CBA,
collective bargaining,
stuff, and then you can make it public what they're making, right?
Correct.
But as it stands now, I don't see that. Plus, they also are. It's this like deal, like they're professional, but they're not. I don't know. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I think the article should have been, we want transparency in the athletic department, I guess. Would like to know, like, what is the pool we're spending on players? What is the pool we're spending on this? We're spending on that.
But that's reported. That's what bothers me.
Right. So if that's being reported accurately, then I don't think we have to dive into who's getting what.
Right.
And that's what the NCAA is granted, like X amount of millions. You're allowed to use your own university funds for that. That's why they want to know the dollar amount. So, you have a choice. Either you're going to unionize and have them be employees, and then you could know what they make, or you don't, and you're not going to know what they make. So that's kind of the way I look at it. It's kind of a cut and dry to me thing. You can't
and it has to be universal.
You can eat it too.
Right.
If you have questions about the athletic department or the university financials, then that's a different question. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at it. Players that are making excessive amounts of money, like let's say, for example, the basketball players. If you know if you're going to reveal their salaries, if that's the route that people are going to go down the line, it's going to hurt your recruiting significantly because they're going to go to places that is not the case.
Yep. That's exactly what,
You might as well just take your program and throw it in the garbage.
Right.
If everybody is doing it, then that's different because everybody's on the same page. If nobody is doing it and we're going to somehow be the ones to do it, that's stupid. So
I don't even think we can. I think it would have.
I mean, I don't know any of that stuff, but yes, I think it's stupid. It's cutting your nose off to spite your face to make a few fucking people happy so they can feel good at night, so they can cry to their friends and go, "Can you believe how much money this player's making?" How about this? They're making a lot of money, the top players, and it's a lot more than you make. Get over it.
The average Power 4 quarterback was making between $4 and $6 million a year. Okay. The issue I have is he didn't cite any facts. Okay. You want to complain about the athletic department and their spending. Show me a discrepancy. Show me, okay, the science department or the engineering department was significantly underfunded this year.
Right.
But athletics was funded very well or raised. Now, football, most of the top schools, the Power 4 schools, even the Group of 5 schools, the Power 4 schools spend $15 million on football alone.
Yeah.
The Group of 5 schools spend $5 to $6 million.
Yeah.
UConn maybe spent close to $1 million on football. Okay.
But basketball's spending a lot, obviously, right?
Basketball's probably spending a lot.
Yeah.
And that's disclosed.
Yeah.
It's disclosed. All of it is disclosed. You know how
the
much
amount that they're paying for basketball is disclosed?
Yeah, I'm sure all the departments for the athletic department, it is disclosed. You know what
wait, so you know what a sport is getting what NIL payments? Because I should be able to look at that in the Google, right? How is UConn?
It says, yes, the university says it will disclose the total of these payments and the number of student athletes receiving them, but not the individual payments.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know that they do it by sport.
Well, that's a Title IX issue.
It's a huge Title IX issue because
I don't know what people are trying to drive at.
Well, he's trying to say that they're professionals, and he's saying that.
Well, they are, but they're professionals.
But they're not in the eyes of the NCAA. They're not. The NCAA does not consider them pro athletes.
Well, they are pro athletes.
They are, but they're not
pro athletes. So the NFL.
They don't have a union. They don't have a CBA.
Right.
They're not pro athletes.
Well, no, you don't have to have a CBA to be a pro athlete.
You have to be an employee. You have to.
No, you don't.
I think you do.
No, you don't. You don't.
You don't have to be an employee to be a professional athlete. No. So you can play for the New York.
Get paid.
You can play for the okay. So
under the old amateurism rules, okay, what Jim Thorpe got thrown under the bus for, basically, they didn't disclose how much they paid back then to people.
Yeah, I'm talking. That was in the fucking 20s.
Amateurism. You're saying amateurism versus pro. Okay, a pro athlete is defined as someone who's being paid for their services.
By college. That's their standards. I'm saying
anybody, amateur versus pro. A pro gets paid, an amateur does not. period.
Right. But
So they are pros.
what pro is not an employee?
They are pros, but private businesses do not have to disclose what you make. So
Right.
The issue is, the biggest issue here is
what professional sport doesn't disclose what their guys make? What professional sport does not deem a team member an employee?
That's a good question. I would say, like, if you look, why don't you go to like
there isn't.
Yeah, some of these
the NBA, the NHL.
Yeah, but they have CBAs. In the old days, they were probably paid $10.99.
Yes. Maybe in the old days before free agency, but we're not in that era. That's why I'm saying in this era,
you're still a professional. The second you get any form of payment, you're a professional.
That's technically not true.
Okay.
Because look at we just talked Husky Hoops yesterday, and you didn't
pro athlete.
Baylor, okay? Baylor signed a guy who played in the G League, was paid, and he was allowed to go back to Baylor.
All right.
And
I'll read it to you so you know. And I'll give you a great example of this. Okay. You want me to give you a great example of a professional sport that they get paid $10.99? You ready?
Sure.
Hot dog eating.
Okay.
Are they employees of the hot dog eating company? No. They get paid when they win.
Yeah, when they go, it's once a year they go to the Nathan's thing.
How about boxing? Are they an employee of Harrah's when Harrah? No,
but they have representatives. They usually
are not employees. They are paid a pro amount, a contracted.
You're right. So is MMA.
Contracted amount. Now in the UFC, some of those guys are employees. Some of them are not.
No, I mean they're under contract, but they're technically 1099s.
Right.
They don't have a union. They don't have a CBA.
So there you go. There's your answer.
Right, but
here's the issue. I don't think like the UFC has to disclose what they're paying guys. I bet you they don't in all instances.
They don't. No.
They're saying they might say what the big guys are paid, but they're not. Me and you go fight in the UFC battle. They're paying us $1,000 to the winner. They're not telling everybody that.
They're a publicly traded company now, so they have to disclose.
They're publicly traded.
Stuff. Yes.
All right, but that might be making this guy's argument.
It's not, because these are kids. This is the NCAA. All right. According to the NCAA, they are not professional athletes.
Let's find this out.
They're playing in the NCAA. Do I agree with you? Yes, I think they are pros.
NCAA athletes.
I think they are pros because of they get paid. However, for years upon years upon years, the conferences and the networks made billions, trillions off the backs.
You're all right. So the NCAA pays for athletes are not officially considered pro athletes.
No, they're not.
That retains an amateur distinction, but they are functioning similarly to entrepreneurs or independent contractors.
Correct. That's why I said they're 1099s.
NIL allows for endorsement, but not direct pay to play. But that's blurred. That's part of the problem. Part of the problem.
It's basically NIL where they pay you to do advertising for them. You do certain things for them and they pay you for it. And that happens, but there's also discrepancies there where, they may pay and you no show, or, they don't ask you to do anything. But the issue here is privacy. He says, how can there be privacy for student athletes who play before huge crowds on television, become the subject of news reports about their performances and are followed and admired by millions? How can there be privacy for the student athletes who hope to parlay their publicity even into even more lucrative opportunities in commercial endorsements and in the big leagues? Actual privacy would kill college sports and student athletes' careers. And as for a competitive disadvantage for UConn, if its payments to student athletes are disclosed, the same argument could be made in respect to all other government employees in Connecticut whose salaries have thankfully not yet been concealed in the same name of privacy. And that's true. All other government employees, their salaries are disclosed. Okay. UConn, he's saying that because they play on TV, because they sign autographs, they're publicly revered, they're on the news, they have no privacy, they have no expectation of privacy, so we deserve to know what they're paid. I want to know what Sarah Strong gets paid. I want to know what AZ Fudd gets paid. I want to know what Terrace Reed Jr. gets paid. And you know what that's going to do? Bullseye on their back. Are you and the biggest thing to me, are you forgetting what happened to Jasper fucking Howard? Jasper Howard, who got murdered on campus.
He wasn't professional. He got murdered. He wasn't professional.
No, but he was touted as a high pick. Very valuable. No, he wasn't. But he was still targeted. They still went after him.
Oh yeah, I mean, we lost Kendall Madison when I played.
Exactly. Okay? You don't think that?
But Kendall Madison wasn't making money. It wasn't targeted because he was making money.
No, because of the fame and everything.
Might have been target, maybe, but that could be anything, though, right? I mean, I mean, money increases that. Definitely.
Huge. You're telling me if it's released that Solo Ball makes $2 million a year, you don't think that there's going to be some criminal activity? You don't think you're putting a bullseye on the kid's back?
Oh, what about actors who make all that money? Aren't they public figure? I mean,
actors can pay for private security and all that shit.
If you're making $2 million, you can pay for private
college student, but they shouldn't have to. They're amateurs.
Well, that's his argument. His argument is they're not amateurs.
But his argument's wrong. His argument's wrong.
My argument is I don't give a shit what they say. They're pros.
I agree with you, but the NCAA doesn't consider them that.
My argument is this: is that if they are not employees of the
university,
then they should not have, and they don't disclose, like you said, if they don't disclose every payment to companies for, like, let's say construction or
plumbers, HVAC,
right, whatever they have to do. If that's not disclosed, if individual payments are not disclosed publicly, then individual payments to athletes should not be disclosed publicly. Okay?
Exactly.
Because they're contractors. If I don't even, by the way, I don't even know, if they do or they don't in the state of Connecticut. I'd have to research that. But if they did do that,
they disclose the taxes. I think they disclose what the taxes they pay. But
you can still disclose what. Yeah, I would love to know that, but I don't know. I don't know.
But to cause a firestorm like this, when I looked at other public universities, Ohio State, they don't disclose how much their athletes are paid individually.
No, I think it's a recruiting problem to do it.
I think it's terrible to do, because as Chris Bellamy pointed out, you disclose that, and some of these kids come from bad neighborhoods. They come home, or he said they wouldn't be able to go home. And he also said how many people are going to be coming to them. Hey, I got this opportunity for you to invest in. Hey, can you lend me this amount of money? Hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that? they're going to get nonstop bombarded by that stuff, which they shouldn't have to deal with. It's stressful enough playing for Dan Hurley at UConn, being the number 2 ranked team in the country. And they earn that money. I've talked to Chris Thesitis. They earn that money. They're signing 50 basketballs before games. Right. And then the university sells them and profits off them. The merchandise, they make a shitload off of.
Right.
The players get a small portion, but the university gets the majority of the income from merchandise. The ticket sales, the revenue from that. Can you turn your phone on vibrate or something and stop biting your nails? Are you nervous?
I'm not nervous.
So this jackass writes this. It's an opinion article, first of all, which should have never been written because he states 0 facts. 0. If you could show me that, okay, the engineering department is suffering. They were severely underfunded this year. And athletics was funded higher. Then you have an argument, okay, maybe you could disclose more. Maybe you need to disclose what the athletes are getting paid. But when you're just saying it because you believe that they're public figures, they're pro athletes because they're on TV, and they're in the newspaper and followed by millions. That's wrong. That's not an argument that holds water because according to the fucking NCAA, which is the governing body that UConn plays under, they are amateurs. And whatever they make is private. It's private information until they are school employees. Until they're employees of the school, each individual athlete makes what they make. It doesn't have to be disclosed. They're disclosing how much the department is spending with rev sharing and NIL. That's the reality. What this guy did was completely irresponsible, egregious.
Well, it was his opinion. I don't know if it's irresponsible.
It is irresponsible because you're causing a firestorm with citizens of Connecticut saying
he has a right to give his opinion.
Oh, I have a right to give my opinion.
That's right.
And his opinion is bullshit. Because he has no
opinion that his opinion is bullshit. But I agree.
If you had facts to back this up.
The bottom line is, unless the rest of the country is disclosing,
which they're not, then
nobody should be doing it. Because it's not fair within the recruiting process athletically. Competition-wise, they're not going to be able to compete. So
no, it's good. That's what exactly what Chris Bellamy said. Chris Bellamy said if you disclosed what Solo Ball or Terrace Reed was making, their agents would say, you know what, we're going to transfer you to a private school.
I agree with that.
So you don't have to deal with this bullshit.
Yeah, I agree with that. Unless you're paying them more than anybody else is, and that might be different. But I agree in general. I agree with the general premise that it will make it much more difficult to recruit. Let me put it like that.
But you don't think you think it's fair that individual players' income should be disclosed like any other employee of UConn?
No, I said only if the NCAA says that everybody has to disclose.
Correct, which they don't. I checked several state schools, and they do not disclose individual payments. Now, there's speculation. There's experts who say what they're getting paid, but is it legitimately posted and listed? Unless the kid does it himself, the university does not.
Right.
And we're a state school.
Well,
We have no reason to do that. And all this article was clickbait bullshit that had zero facts. And this is his opinion. Okay, so I'll give you an example. My opinion.
Yeah.
The price of milk is up. So I think farmers are intentionally not milking their cows right because they want the price of milk to go up.
Okay.
So they're concealing what they're doing with the cows, and milk is more expensive.
Yep.
That's my opinion. I have no facts to back that up. I'm just going to attack farmers and say that farmers need to disclose what they're doing with their milk.
Okay.
And
so
do I think
that would be bullshit? Yes. Do you have a right to do it? Yes.
Okay. I have a right to do it. But
I'm just saying.
I don't think he has a right to do this because the NCAA has already said they're not employees. The NCAA has said they're amateurs. The NCAA has said this is revenue sharing agreements. The revenue sharing agreements. That you want to blame someone? He should have wrote this and said secret payments are corrupt by the NCAA because they're not reported. Blame them.
Or blame it on the rain.
Don't call out UConn, the most popular institution in the state that is basically the pro team of the state for fans, and you want to ruin it for them?
Because he's miserable. That's why.
No, he's a political writer who knows nothing about sports. He's probably a nonner who's never played a sport in his life, and he's just a shit stirrer. And that's my issue. And
I think listen, the bottom line is that unless this is like an agreement among the NCAA to disclose, you don't disclose because it's not going to be good from a competitive standpoint.
No,
you know what I mean?
It would kill state schools.
Yeah.
Kids would not want to go there if they knew their income was going to be disclosed.
Agreed.
We're already an independent. We're it's going to prevent us from getting into a conference because we're going to be less competitive. It's going to make us look bad. This guy has no leg to stand on. And he wrote this, and he's attacking UConn. He's attacking the athletic department, and he's wrong. And you want this disclosed because they're on TV or whatever. These guys get harassed as it is. That you think they can go to on campus and walk to class? You think Terrace Reed can walk to his classes? What the fuck is that? Are you keep getting text?
I don't know.
You do know.
I know nothing.
So it's irresponsible. In my opinion, the editor who let this run is completely irresponsible. The paper is completely irresponsible. And I am going to write a response to this. Because, again, this is not only wrong on levels of, amateurism and them being employees. This would put a target on their backs that would threaten their health, their physical health. This would cause them to get robbed, to get attacked. You're telling me if they find out some of the basketball players are millionaires, that someone from Hartford isn't going to drive up pull a gun on them, rob them?
I don't know.
You don't think that they're going to go to their case their housing where they live, follow them and see where they live? And then when they're on the road playing at fucking Creighton, break in? You're threatening their safety. You're putting their lives on the line. That's what I have a problem with. You're putting, and their kids, they're still on their parents' insurance. You're putting their lives on the line because it's so important to you. Why the fuck do you care? Why do you care what they make? Chris, I want to know what you make. Do I know how much Chris Powell makes?
Not sure.
Is that posted? No, it's not. The Connecticut fucking Examiner, I want to know how much money they make. Is that posted? No. Because there's an expectation of privacy. And all this does is hurt the university, brings unwanted attention, and Benedict was right. He said, because this guy's pissed that they get a Freedom of Information Act exception. He said, St. Benedict, this exemption, he told the legislator, will allow student athletes to maintain their privacy, increase compensation opportunities, and avoid the competitive disadvantages that would occur if Connecticut universities were required to share contract details. And he goes, privacy? How can there be privacy for student athletes who play before huge crowds on TV and become subject of news reports? So I've seen you've already lost interest.
I haven't lost interest. That's what I.
And it sounds like a fire alarm is going off in your house.
No, it's just the what do you call it? The little. I don't know how to stop it. The notifications keep going off.
But I'm just saying what this guy did was wrong, egregious, irresponsible, dangerous. To put an opinion article out like this, to intentionally, and in my opinion, it borderlines on defamation. It borderlines on defamation because there's nothing is secret. There's no secret payments. What corruption is there? What illegal corruption is there to justify what the fuck this guy wrote?
Right on.
There's nothing that's illegal and corrupt. He's acting like, there's some RICO Act going on here.
Well,
and you know what?
That's what he wants to look at, I guess.
And the Title IX stuff, it is correct. And there is a lawsuit pending because as far as the payments are concerned, yes, male athletes make more than the female athletes. That's the way it is. But again, you're looking at revenue generated. What generates the most revenue? Pro football or college football. College football generates the revenue that keeps the majority of these sports going, that funds gymnastics, swimming, all that crap. And basketball funds it. But in the major universities, it's college football. College basketball makes money mainly off the NCAA tournament. They don't have the broadcast fees and the rights that they pay like they do for football. Football, they pay billions of dollars. for the SEC and the Big Ten television contracts. UConn is having issues as it is, trying to get into a power conference. We're an independent. We're a fucking independent. We're trying to get into a conference. We're struggling to get this money as it is. We don't fund anywhere close to the cap, which is $20 million. We don't pay that to our athletes. We don't have that to pay. We have some NIL money, some big donors, but it's nowhere on pace with the monster universities like Texas Tech, Oregon, 70 million, 50 million they're spending. And they're intentionally spending over the $20 million cap because they say, who's going to stop us? They say no one's going to stop us. So they spent more and nothing's been done. So I think this guy is a jackass. I think he legitimately intentionally did this and wants to put a target on these kids' back. Yeah. And they would get my thing is safety first. They're going to get harmed. They're going to get harmed. You want to disclose their payments so everyone knows. Watch what happens. They're going to get hurt. They're going to get robbed. They're going to get assaulted. As Bellamy said, if he was paid where he's from, he wouldn't have been able to go home. He would have been hounded and asked for money and favors and this and that. These kids do enough. They earn every cent of this. Chris Stasitis told me a bunch of them, I think it was 4 or 5, had to get in a van a couple months ago and drive to New York City for a convention to sign autographs. They do camps. After practice, they get assignments that they have to do because of the rev share agreements. We need you to do this. We need you to do that. We need you to go here, make an appearance here. So they earn that money.
Right.
And it's nobody's business what they get paid. And I'm sick and tired after I read more of this guy's article on other things. He's a whiner and a complainer, and his opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got them. And I think it's complete bullshit what he did to the university just to cause a firestorm, to cause a problem, to bring attention that wasn't deserved when they're having phenomenal basketball seasons, when they have chances to win national championships again in basketball. You want to derail it? You want to get people upset? You want to get people to stop going to games? You want to get people to stop supporting UConn? You've clearly heard enough.
Yeah. Bottom line is, I don't think they need to disclose it.
Well, they're not employees. They're fucking amateurs. Now, I do agree with you. They're paid. They're practically pro athletes with the transfer portal. They're mercenaries. They're going to other schools year to year, chasing the money. But we created this. We allowed it. The NCAA said, fine. Good. It's good. Good with us. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, not only will we let them make money off their name, image, and likeness, we're going to allow schools to pay them directly. So, Chris, fuck around, find out, Powell, write your article about the NCAA. Don't go attacking UConn. UConn is following the letter of the law and the rules that are given to them. It's not UConn that's dictating how this is maintained and how this is run. It's the NCAA. And they're the ones who let a guy who was drafted 2 years ago, played in the G League, played overseas, come back and go to Baylor. He's playing at Baylor right now. They didn't complain about that. The kid at Alabama, he played in the G League. Now he's back at Alabama. The NCAA complained about that. They're going to court, and they got a TRO to let him play until it's settled, and he's averaging 10 points a game, 5 rebounds. Before, that was unheard of, that you could add a player midseason. So you want to complain about that. Complain about the NCAA. You want to come at UConn, come with some facts. Come with where the money is being distributed.
It doesn't matter.
Inappropriately. The engineering department, oh wow, they're down $20,000. The science department, the business school, they're all underfunded, but athletics is funding this much. Yeah, if you had facts that would support your argument, great. Otherwise, it's a clickbait, fluff, bullshit piece. And its intention is pure defamation and to harm UConn, to harm these student athletes, because you obviously never played a sport and you obviously have a jealousy and self-esteem complex because they play on television. They get reported on. They have no expectation of privacy. Well, then neither do you, sir. You're a writer. You're a writer. Where's your, you shouldn't have an expectation of privacy. I want to know how much you make. I want to see your tax return. I want to know your salary. I want to know what the Connecticut Examiner makes. I want to know how many subscribers they have. You're an employee. So it's a bunch of bullshit. And for him to do that, put us in danger.
Yeah.
You want us to get into a conference? You want us to get back to being something special in everything? We need to get into a power conference. When we have jackasses who are ignorant writing, that is what will harm and prevent that from happening. So, Dave.
Great job, Steve.
Yeah, I know you're bored. It's the more I read, he provided nothing, no facts. All he provided was his opinion. So, like I said, my opinion. I think farmers they're not milking cows right. I think they're fucking up. I want an investigation into farming. I want to see how they're milking cows because the price of milk's too high. So, Chris, I think you suck. I think you're a cuck. I think your website sucks. And I'm going to write a response. And you can shove it up your ass. You'll get I will write my opinion piece for the Connecticut Examiner, examining you and your ignorance and stupidity and trying to blow up the pride of the state of Connecticut, which is UConn. All right, Dave. So I can tell you're good to go. This has been Bloodlines and Betrayal. I'm Steve Cully. Hey, Chris, I'm the best podcast host in the universe, and I dominate Connecticut. Oh, and by the way, I was a National C Club Spotlight Award winner of the year. Yeah, that's me. That's who you're dealing with. The Alumni Spotlight Award winner of the year. The greatest alumni of the year. It was me. What do you think about that? You want to come at someone? Come at me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah.
I'm a man.
I'll see you anytime.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
You want to meet? You want to have a discussion? I'll gladly come meet you anywhere. We can have a talk. We'll talk about matter and antimatter. We'll talk about world peace. We'll talk about whatever you want. But I'll educate you because you're clearly a dumb fuck about how college sports work.
Who are you talking to?
Chris.
Oh. Well,
the author. He's a dumb fuck who has no idea how college athletics works and attacking UConn when you should be attacking the NCAA. And by the way, before payments were legal, schools were paying kids. How come you don't report on that? Why don't you report on that when that happened?
What were they doing?
No, I was saying for years, colleges paid kids. Reggie Bush, they found ways to pay kids through third parties to get them to come to school. You want to do a story? That was illegal. Exactly. Write something about that. That's illegal.
Yeah, baby.
Then do some fucking research.
Come on, man.
Before you spew your
Come on.
Egregious crap.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Fuck around, find out, Chris. That's my message to you. You fuck around, you just found out. You found out you're wrong. I don't give a crap. You can put opinion on it, so you can write whatever the hell you want, no matter how stupid it is. And what you wrote was stupid. And I'm going to write something back and blow yours out of the water, because guess what? I may look dumb, but I'm not. And I'm a writer.
What?
I'm 10 times the writer you are.
Yeah.
You've seen my writing, Dave. Can I write? Do I write good?
Well, you write very well, actually.
I actually do write very well. I have a robust vocabulary, Chris, unlike you in the Connecticut Examiner. So we'll see if the Connecticut Examiner is man enough to publish anything that I send. Then I don't know. So, Dave, you can get back to working on your portal app. And
thank you. That's very kind of you.
And pay the $400.
That was I want to tell you, that was a very good podcast. Yeah. So that was very good. It was very insightful.
Well, it's again, I'm mad because this guy, my first concern was the health of these kids and disclosing their money. Nobody needs to know anyone's income. Do I ask you, Dave? Dave, how much money did you make this past year? What would you tell me?
It doesn't matter.
It's none of my business. If I ask Frank,
I listen. I agreed with you on it. So
if I ask Frank, what'd you pull in this year? None of your business. Nobody's business what their income is. I get the state employees because your tax funds it, but these athletes are not state employees.
yeah.
So your argument ends right there, cocksucker. Your argument is just because they play on TV and they're in news, so they have no expectation of privacy. Yeah, okay.
It doesn't matter.
I can watch C-SPAN. For Coach Schumann, who's going to pay $400 for his kid to play Little League. I'm Steve Cully, the best podcast host in the universe. Remember that, Chris? And Chris, I got another message. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges, throw them back at life, and guess what, brother? I'm Steve Cully, and I'm running for Congress.
Sounds good. Let's end it now.